first off, just want to say again, thank you very much for taking the time out of your workday to tell your story. We really appreciate this. How was it that you heard about Hostage Tape?
So I heard about hostage tape. So I have sleep apnea, and something that happens with sleep apnea is snoring. So I heard about the idea of mouth tape through a friend of mine, and I was using a brand, uh, that I was using for a while, and it wasn't working too well. So I saw on Instagram that I kept getting a ad for hostage tape, while scrolling. And I said, oh man, this looks cool and it looks bigger. Let me go ahead and try that because this brand is not working. The adhesive isn't that great. Um, so I decided to give you guys a try and you know, went ahead and I picked it up.
Absolutely, that's awesome. And so you kind of mentioned that you have sleep apnea and snoring. Is that kind of what led you into the mouth taping world? Because it's something that's not that people don't talk about too often. It's definitely not a common thing to be mouth taping. But was it the sleep apnea and snoring that got you into it then?
So it was a sleep apnea that got me using it. I do have a CPAP machine, but sometimes it's not enough for snoring, at least. So I decided to go into, med tape. And then I've tried a couple of brands, and again, the adhesive isn't good for somebody with facial hair. So once I saw your brand and I saw, the size is different, the shape is different, and I picked it up, it was like night and day, a change.
That's awesome. That's so great to hear. And what were some of the differences that you noticed? You said it was like night and day difference. What were some of those initial ones? Obviously, it's probably staying on with the beard, but did you notice that the snoring went down, more well rested? What were some of
Snoring
those
is
differences?
completely gone. I have absolutely no snoring. One thing that I did have issues with is, my partner, I do wake them up with my snoring sometimes. So the tape was a great idea. It worked for a couple of nights. And then when I switched to hostage tape, it's worked every night.
Sweet.
So there are definitely no issues with sleeping. Now my sleep is better. I wake up feeling a lot more refreshed. And I just have a lot more energy in the morning. And the adhesive is great to remove as well. It doesn't hurt my beard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the cool things. I know I was a doubter when I first tried it, just having a beard. I was like, oh, it's one, it's either not going to stay on, or two, it's just going to rip right off. Like rip my
Mm.
hair right off, but just the way that it's like that perfect combination. So,
Yeah, I think it's the grooves on the back.
mhm,
Really,
yeah,
really good.
yeah, it's pretty neat the way that it's been done. So you probably have a similar story then. You mentioned your partner. You probably getting like elbows in the back and pillows across the face, that sort of thing, right? Where it's like
Absolutely.
you got to cut this out. You got to figure out your snoring problem. Is that kind of what it was?
Yeah, if I wake them up, they'll wake me up. Be like, dude, what are you doing? And I'm like, sorry. Hold on, readjust myself, make sure I'm good. It takes us both like 20 minutes to go back to bed, but since I've had these, we've slept through the night. No issues.
Right,
Prac-
right,
Barely waking up.
right. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's so great to hear. And then how long have you been using hostage tape for?
I've been using them for about a week and a half now.
Okay,
But
very
I've
very
been
nice.
looking through med tape for a few months, and I kept seeing the ad, kept seeing the ad, kept saying, oh, Instagram ads. I'm not going to get sucked in, but then I went for it. A lot of the times I am a little thrown off by hostage tape. This is for men, but the product is great. The It's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's built well, super well.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the name can definitely turn some people off as well too. But it's just one of those wow names. But it's twofold, right? I mean, your mouth is taped shut, so you kind of look like a hostage. But it's also just the way that like bad sleep
Yeah,
and poor
no, it's
sleep, it
great.
holds you hostage for sure
Keeps
too.
you
So
hostage. Yeah, I saw it clicked right away, but it, it's cool packaging.
yeah,
Even the back is cool. It's giving MRE.
yeah, yeah,
It's really neat. I like it a lot. It's
yeah. That's awesome. And have you told anyone else? Obviously, your partner knows, but have you told anyone else that you started mouth taping
oh,
and that you've had success? Is it one of those things that you're just shouting it from the mountaintops now?
I actually am. One of my friends, she wants to go ahead and get them for her boyfriend or partner. They're married now. But she wants to go ahead and do that because she's like, he snores, he snores, he snores, he swears he doesn't have sleep apnea. I'm like, get this brand, man. I'm telling you, it changes everything.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I was just talking to my parents, and my dad snores, and he was just in disbelief. He's like, that's not real, it doesn't work. And my mom was the one, she's like, I think you could probably use this. So I'm gonna slip some to my mom and just say, hey, like you just need to convince him to use this because it's exactly like you said, night and day difference how well it works.
Yeah. And with the tin, it's a good like gift too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Where you can just like here, try it.
Yeah.
You'd have to be careful not to make it too personal, where it's like, here's your problem, here's a way to fix the
But
problem
you
that you
know
have,
what?
right? But
But the way that I have told like my friends about it is, you might not have a problem sleeping, but it's a good way to try it. You might get a better night's sleep. Like
yeah,
I've said that to my partner. The other night I said, hey, because he kind of snores, but he doesn't know it. But I've kind of said like, hey, do you want to try it? He's like, oh, not yet, not yet. But he's going to. He's going to
yeah,
try it because it's always good. You never know. You will get a better night's sleep, regardless. Everybody can use better sleep.
yeah. And that was one of the things for me too. Like 20 years of just mouth breathing from going back to when I remember like earliest saying that I couldn't breathe through my nose. And every morning was always the same, where it's a dry mouth. Your face feels like it's sucked out of all moisture. You're exhausted for the first little like hour. And now, like
Mm-hmm.
since using it over the past 6 months or so, when you go to bed at night, there's just such a peace, and just knowing that the next 7 8 hours are just going to be such a great deep sleep, and you're going to wake up refreshed. Like it totally changes the way
Mm-hmm.
I go to bed.
I
I
look
just know that
forward to
it's going to be
sleeping.
exactly like you're like this is going to be productive
Yeah.
versus oh man, now I have to wake up in 8 hours feeling like garbage.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely like, oh shit, better get some good sleep. Let's do it. You know what I mean? It's a great
yeah,
feeling.
yeah,
Being able to have a good night's sleep. It it's like, wow, I I wasn't sleeping this way. It's unbelievable. When you
yeah,
start using mouth tape, it's crazy. Huge
yeah.
change.
No, absolutely, absolutely. If I told you that you weren't allowed to mouth tape, what's kind of your initial reaction? Would it just be total panic of, oh dear God, I don't want to go back?
God, if I was told that I didn't want to use mouth tape, or if I wasn't able to use mouth tape, I'd probably, I'd freak out. It's a huge difference in the way that I sleep. And again, like I said, it's night and day. It's just my quality of life is better because of the mouth tape, because of the hostage tape.
That's awesome. That's so great to hear. And that's what we're trying to do with this YouTube channel is just get through people's fears, uncertainties, or doubts, and we're just trying to say like this is something that can change your life. And if you have a problem sleeping, or even if you sleep fine, like this will improve your sleep. Like this is one of those huge things that is very minimal, like not intrusive at all, but it can change your life. So we're trying to get the word out there to as many people as possible because this is some life changing stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, it's good just to recommend to people. Like I said, just tell your friends, do you want to try this? Because it changes. It changes the way you sleep, and you just have an overall improvement. Why not try it? What's the worst that's going to happen? Oh no,
Yeah.
I got better sleep.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Did you have any when you first? Oh, I guess you've been mouth taping for a while, but did you have any fears about taping your mouth closed to get things started?
Yes, yes. So at first, when I started using mouth tape, I was very nervous about, will I remember to breathe? Like, will I be okay? But then, paired with the CPAP machine, kind of makes you breathe regardless. So no issues. But there have been instances where I haven't had my CPAP machine, like if I'm traveling or something, I still bring in the tape. I'm still sleeping great. No worries. I know that,
Wow.
our bodies are made to do that.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the same for myself. The first couple times, I was like, "Well, man, say a quick prayer before going to bed," because you're like, I hope I'm waking up." But once you
Make sure you're elevated.
yeah, exactly, exactly. I told my wife, I was like, if you hear me stop breathing, like you gotta wake me up right now. But no, once you realize and you look at the science, you're like, oh, okay, we're not gonna forget this. This is not something that
Yeah.
my body is
It's
gonna
like it's an
forget to do.
involuntary thing. I'm like, you're
Yeah,
good. Like, you're
my
going to
nose is
breathe.
there. My nose is there for a reason, and my body knows what to
Yeah.
do. So it's not like it's just gonna stop. But
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, that's too good. Well, I just want to say I think it's a huge testament to how excited you are about it, jumping on and giving your time only after a week and a half. So that's awesome. Like that's so great that there was just that
Yeah,
instant change for you. That's so fantastic.
absolutely. I believe in the product, man. It's legit.
That's sweet. That's sweet. Well, thank you very much. Here, I won't take up any more of your time, but I just wanted to finish off by just saying like thank you so much. It's through testimonies like this that we're going to be able to spread the word and help as many people as possible. So I just wanted to say thank you very much for this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for, bringing me on, and I appreciate it.